To be blunt, it came as a shock. I was not aware that this is something that she was contemplating doing. But in the end, she made her decision. And we have to move on as a show. I don't like it. I'm not happy about it. Because I appreciate her and what she has meant to me, what she has meant to the show, what she has meant to the network, what she's meant to the business. And I'm gonna miss.
More details have been released as to why Molly Qerim abruptly quit ESPN. And when I say abruptly quit, I mean she left work, I think it was on Monday, and
There's a storm brewing at ESPN, and at the center of it, Stephen A. Smith, the network's biggest star, their golden voice, their $20 million man. But just when his empire seemed untouchable, his longtime co-host Molly Qerim vanished. No warning. No goodbye, just gone. And now the internet is asking one massive question. What really happened? This is the story of power, control, and a sudden exit that shook the sports media world to its core. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear, it gets messy. Let's start with the man himself. Stephen A. Smith isn't just an ESPN personality, he is ESPN. In 2025, he's pulling in a reported $20 million a year. That's not a typo. And for that kind of money, he's everywhere. First Take, Monday Night Football, NBA Countdown. You can't turn on ESPN without seeing his face or hearing his voice. He's described by insiders as the engine of the network. The face, the brand, everything revolves around him. Every decision, every headline, every production move, it all orbits Stephen A. Smith. He's not just a host, he's a powerhouse. And empires, they play by different rules.
So when you have someone abruptly quit a job, they're not leaving on the best terms. Normally, it's polite to give your employer some kind.
Now here's where it gets interesting. On what seemed like a normal day, Molly Qerim, Stephen A.'s longtime co-host on First Take, just disappeared. No build-up, no farewell tour. She posted on Instagram, calm and collected, announcing her immediate exit from ESPN, and that was it. One last show, then silence. Fans were stunned. Insiders were blindsided. Nobody saw this coming. No goodbye montage, no tearful farewell episode. Just one cryptic post and she was out the door. And immediately people started asking, what just happened?
Molly is a friend. Molly is a co-worker. Molly is somebody that I have leaned on many occasions in the past, as she has done when it comes to me. We've been partners on the show.
To understand how shocking this was, you need to know who Molly Qerim is. She didn't just show up at ESPN overnight. She started way back in 2006, grinding through digital segments, climbing the ladder, doing the work. She earned an Emmy at ESPN2 before landing the big chair on First Take in 2015. And she wasn't just decoration. Molly was the balancing force, the steady hand. She was the brakes to Stephen A.'s gas pedal. She managed chaos. She handled egos. She kept the show running smoothly when it could have spiraled into madness. For nearly a decade, she was the glue holding First Take together. So when she walked away, it left a hole nobody was ready to fill.
Let's remember, what did just last week, Stephen A. was on air bragging about the people he stood up for to get paid, and how many, Cam, I did for Shannon Sharp, and I did it for this person and that person. And when I look at the abrupt, like, nah, I'm not coming into work tomorrow.
Yeah.
That also is like, maybe there's pointing the finger at...
But hold on, because ESPN had a story ready. According to the network's official statement, Molly's exit was planned. She was supposed to step away at the end of the year. Clean, professional, mutual. Except, it didn't go down like that. She cut ties abruptly. And not just abruptly. Suddenly enough that even top producers were caught off guard. The timing looked suspicious. Rumors started flying faster than ESPN could spin the narrative. Burke Magnus, ESPN's president of content, went public trying to calm the chaos. He insisted Molly wanted new challenges, that her exit was already in the works. But fans weren't buying it, because if it was planned, why did the news leak early? Why were executives blindsided? Why did Molly feel the need to rush her own announcement on Instagram? None of it added up. So ESPN goes into full damage control mode. Magnus keeps repeating the same line. There's no controversy here, folks. Nothing to see. But the more he said it, the shakier the story sounded.
Jason, I actually watched that whole video clip of Stephen A. Smith. I just thought it was funny. It ain't none of y'all business. It was a contract negotiation. Oh. So that wasn't about the money. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks for cluing it. It's always about the money, though. It's like in boxing. Why didn't this fight happen?
Molly's rushed Instagram post looked like someone trying to get ahead of chaos before it swallowed her whole. Fans could feel it. Something was being hidden. This wasn't just a clean career move. This was a cover-up. And the mood shifted fast. What started as confusion turned into suspicion. People wanted answers, and they weren't getting them. That's when everything changes. Stephen A. Smith addresses Molly's exit on air, and it's emotional. He gives this heartfelt goodbye, praises her, calls her a friend, says she elevated First Take to another level. It's polished. It's moving. It looks genuine. But then, later that same day, he goes on Sirius XM, and his tone completely shifts. He admits Molly abruptly resigned, uses that word over and over. Abruptly. Then he drops this line: "The details are none of y'all business." Says even he doesn't know everything.
To be blunt, it came as a shock. I was not aware that this is something that she was contemplating doing. But in the end, she made her decision. And we have to move on as a show. I don't like it. I'm not happy about it. Because I appreciate her and what she has meant to me, what she has meant to the show, what she has meant to the network, what she's meant to the business. And I'm gonna miss.
Calls it a contract issue. Moves on. Wait, what? Fans immediately started connecting dots. If it was planned, why is Stephen A. calling it abrupt? If they were so close, why doesn't he know the details? And why did his whole energy change between the morning show and the afternoon radio hit? Something wasn't adding up at all. And that's when the internet exploded. Within hours, commentators and insiders were all over this story. Everyone had a theory. Was Stephen A. hiding something? Was the emotional tribute just performance? Was ESPN covering for him? Then Emmanuel Acho, former ESPN insider, no stranger to the network's inner workings, called Stephen A. out directly. He said Stephen A. gives just enough information to stir gossip, then shuts down questions when it gets too hot. He called it controlled confusion, not honesty, strategy. Social media went wild. Fans flooded timelines with theories. Was Molly forced out? Did she know too much? Was Stephen A. protecting himself? The story became a feeding frenzy. And ESPN, they stayed silent.
Jason, I actually watched that whole video clip of Stephen A. Smith. I just thought it was fun. It ain't none of y'all business. It was a contract negotiation. Oh. So that was about the money. Thanks, Stephen. Thanks for cluing it. It's always about the money, though. It's like in boxing. Why didn't this fight happen?
Behind the scenes, ESPN was scrambling. Molly's chair was empty, and they had no idea who could fill it. Producers were testing replacements daily, rotating hosts, trying to find someone who could match her energy and control. But here's the kicker. On the same day Molly announced her exit, ESPN dropped another bombshell. They announced Malika Andrews' new multi-year contract. Big press release, big celebration. And fans immediately thought, wait, was Malika already lined up to replace Molly? Was this whole thing planned behind closed doors? And then Molly's own words added fuel to the fire. In her Instagram post, she wrote, "Now that the news came out earlier than I intended, so someone leaked it. Someone forced her hand." And she ended with a cryptic, "Stay tuned." Like she's not done talking. Like there's more to this story. Here's what sources inside ESPN are saying. The network offered Molly other roles, different shows, different projects, ways to keep her in the building, and she said no to all of it. She didn't just leave First Take, she left ESPN completely. This wasn't a resignation, this was a statement. And while ESPN kept pushing their clean break narrative, the truth felt a lot messier. Meanwhile, Stephen A. Smith, in the middle of his own massive contract negotiations, remained the center of gravity. The timing of Molly's exit, right at the peak of his power, raised serious questions. Was it coincidence? Or was it connected? Now let's talk optics. Within hours of Molly's quiet exit, ESPN was pushing Malika Andrews' contract announcement hard. Multi-year deal, big money, national spotlight. To casual fans, it looked like celebration. To insiders, it looked like damage control. One woman exits in silence, another rises in a flash of press releases. The contrast was jarring. Fans called it a chess move, calculated, staged, and it made ESPN's no controversy story look even more scripted, like they were trying to distract everyone from what just happened. And the backlash? Immediate. Social media erupted. Accusations flew, hypocrisy, cover-ups, power plays. Commentators said this wasn't about contracts. This was about a power shift. And Stephen A.? He stayed calm, kept smiling. Business as usual, but Emmanuel Acho wasn't done. He tore into Stephen A.'s contradictory behavior again, called him out for pretending ignorance while protecting himself and the network. Critics piled on, saying Stephen A. knows exactly what happened. He just doesn't want to say it. And the more he stayed quiet, the louder the accusations got. Because of this scandal, it's bigger than Molly. It's bigger than Stephen A. It raises serious questions about ESPN's internal culture, about power dynamics, about what happens when one person becomes untouchable. Stephen A. Smith makes $20 million a year. He's the face of the network, and with that kind of influence, he reshapes everything around him.
Now, The last part of it is, this is the twist. She wanted to do other stuff. No, basically. You wanted to host your own show? No, basically. You want more money? Not much. Now, who signs off on all the money there? Think about it. Think about it. The bosses. But who are the bosses? That's Stephen A. Smith as well.
Team dynamics, production decisions, how colleagues are treated. And when you're that powerful, people protect you, even if it means someone else gets hurt. Old clips started resurfacing. Moments like Stephen A.'s fasting joke about Molly on air. Things that seemed harmless at the time suddenly looked different. And fans started asking, was the environment at First Take built around protecting the star or around equality? So where does that leave us? Rumors are swirling that Stephen A. wants to control how Molly's story is remembered, that he's reshaping the narrative to protect his image. Fans believe Molly didn't just leave, she was pushed out. Or worse, worn down. Theories are flying. Some say she was drained from dealing with the culture, the pressure, the politics. Others say she saw what was happening and took her power back. That she walked away on her terms, not theirs. Either way, she's gone, and the show will never be the same. First Take is entering a new chapter, or maybe it's entering a crisis. ESPN's hierarchy looks shaky. The weight of one man's influence is starting to crack the foundation, and everyone's watching to see what happens next. Is this the rise of a media king, or the beginning of his downfall? Was Molly's exit an act of freedom, or the fallout of a toxic power structure? The truth is, we don't know. Not yet. But one thing's for sure. This story is far from over. The silence is too loud. The timing is too suspicious. And the questions? They're not going away. So what do you think really happened? Was Molly Qerim forced out? Did she walk away to protect herself? Or is there something even bigger we're not seeing yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Because this scandal, it's just getting started. And something tells me the truth is about to come out. Stay tuned. Come out.